It all started with a single, chilling moment on live television. The nation was watching, riveted, unaware that the words about to leave Prince William's lips would ignite a firestorm across the Kingdom. In that instant, a single phrase shattered the carefully curated image of the royal family. "I regret ever trusting her." The words were deliberate, measured, and loaded with unspoken implications. For a brief, electrifying moment, the air felt heavier. It was as if centuries of royal tradition, duty, and expectation were colliding head-on with raw human emotions, betrayal, regret, and a simmering anger that could no longer be contained. You have to understand the gravity of this. Prince William is not known for impulsive statements. He is meticulous, disciplined, and intensely conscious of how every syllable reflects upon the monarchy. When someone like him chooses to speak in such a personal, emotionally charged way, it's not just a casual observation, it's a seismic statement. To hear the heir to the throne implied that a member of the inner circle had caused irreparable damage sent ripples through the corridors of Buckingham Palace. It's the kind of remark that turns heads, raises eyebrows, and sparks the kind of theorizing that fuels tabloids for months. The context here is crucial. Meghan Markle, from the moment she stepped into the royal fold, she has been a lightning rod. She represented a break from tradition, a fresh possibility, but with that came unprecedented scrutiny and suspicion. Rumors and accusations became intertwined with her public persona, and now, with William's words, the storm has taken a dark turn. What exactly did he mean? Was it a comment on a personal disagreement, or a veiled acknowledgement of the private upheaval Meghan's presence brought to the palace walls? The ambiguity is haunting. It's not just what he said, it's the tension of the unspoken truths lurking beneath the surface. Then there's the reaction of Prince Harry. William's younger brother has long been the vocal protector of Meghan, defending her against every attack. To hear William seemingly cast blame and regret regarding his wife introduces a dramatic, almost cinematic tension between the two brothers. Did Harry feel blindsided? Did those words sting because they exposed a gulf that has become too wide to cross? Imagine the energy in the room, decades of sibling history, loyalty, and rivalry colliding in one public broadcast. William didn't yell, he didn't cry, but his body language told a story of a man wrestling with the burden of leadership and the pain of personal betrayal. Perhaps the most biting part of the narrative is William's hint that some wounds were self-inflicted. This suggests a layer of accountability that is messy and multidirectional. It implies that while external forces played a role, the choices made behind closed doors, the private slights, the miscommunications, and the broken promises are what truly led to this fracture. Behind the gilded doors, away from the cameras, a different reality unfolds. A reality where trust is sacred, and a breach of that trust isn't just a family matter, it's a systemic threat to the crown itself. The silence following William's declaration was deafening. But within the palace, the machinery was already in overdrive. You see, in the world of the Windsors, a public admission of regret isn't just a slip of the tongue, it's a declaration of war. Insiders whisper that the air in the room turned ice cold the moment the cameras cut to commercial. This wasn't a scripted PR move. This was the future king reclaiming a narrative that had been slipping through his fingers for years. Notice how he didn't use her name. He didn't have to, by simply saying her. He weaponized a pronoun, focusing the collective gaze of the world onto one person. For Meghan, this was the ultimate isolation. It was a signal that, Despite the titles and the global fame, the bridge back to the heart of the family had been burnt to the ground. The gossip mill is spinning with a single question. What was the final straw? Was it a leaked conversation, a private demand gone wrong, or the realization that the modern monarchy they envisioned was nothing more than a house of cards? As the headlines began to scream, all eyes turned to California for Harry. This was the ultimate Judas moment from his own flesh and blood. Imagine the fury knowing your brother just used his platform to cast a shadow of doubt over the woman you gave up everything for. The rumors suggest that phones were ringing off the hook between London and Montecito, but the silence from the Sussex camp was louder than any statement could ever be. Harry is now caught in a psychological pincer movement: defend the mother of his children and risk a permanent blood feud, or stay silent and allow William's version of the truth to become history. Behind those heavy oak doors, the staff are reportedly walking on eggshells. There's a specific kind of protocol for when a senior royal goes rogue with their emotions. It's called damage limitation. But how do you limit the damage when the heir to the throne has already admitted the trust is gone? The whispers coming out of the palace suggest that this isn't just about Meghan anymore, it's about the survival of the institution. If the family can't trust its own members, how can the public trust the crown? While the world dissects the drama like a Shakespearean play, we can't forget the raw human cost. Behind the poise and the polished jewelry, there are people who are fundamentally broken. The gossip isn't just about who said what, it's about the self-inflicted wounds William mentioned. It's about the sleepless nights, the private arguments in the corridors, and the crushing weight of 1,000 years of history demanding you put duty above your own brother. The drama is unfolding in real time, and every subtle twitch of a lip or tilt of a head in the next public appearance will be analyzed for the truth that William was too royal to say out loud. While the brothers are locked in this high-stakes psychological chess match, the rest of the family has retreated into a strategic, chilling silence. But don't let the lack of a formal statement fool you. In the palace, silence is a weapon. Rumors are swirling that the senior courtiers, the men in gray suits, are working overtime to build a wall around the future king. They are framing William's outburst not as a mistake, but as a necessary purification. The whispers suggest that the palace inner circle had been waiting for this moment, the moment the mask of polite unity finally fell, allowing the institution to distance itself once and for all from the Sussexes. But let's talk about those self-inflicted wounds again. This is where the gossip gets truly dark. Insiders suggest that William wasn't just talking about Meghan's interviews or Harry's memoir. He was allegedly hinting at a series of private ultimatums that happened behind closed doors, demands for status, security, and funding that pushed the family to a breaking point. The narrative being whispered through the grapevines is that the trust wasn't just broken, it was exploited. William's regret stems from the realization that every olive branch he extended was, in his view, used as leverage for a new media deal or a new chapter in a tell-all book. And what about the Duchess in Montecito? The air is thick with anticipation. Meghan has always been a master of the narrative, a woman who knows exactly how to use her voice when the time is right. The gossip circles are buzzing with the theory that she isn't just hurt, she's calculating if the heir to the throne can go on live TV and talk about broken trust. What's stopping her from releasing the receipts? There are whispers of a private journal, a digital archive of messages that could turn William's regret into his own worst nightmare. The tension isn't just about a family feud anymore. It's an arms race of information. Every glance William gives the camera now is being dissected. Was that a flicker of remorse? Or was it the cold steel of a man who has decided that his brother is a lost cause? The psychological toll is manifesting in the smallest details, the way he grips the podium, the slight hollowing of his eyes. He has positioned himself as the protector of the monarchy, but in doing so, he has admitted that the monarchy is under siege from within. The seismic statement has left the ground beneath the palace shaking, and no one knows if the foundation can hold outside the palace walls. The public is divided. Some see William as a hero finally speaking the truth that everyone else was too afraid to say. Others see a cold, calculating king in waiting who just threw his own brother's wife under the bus on global television. The drama has transcended the news. It has become a cultural obsession. People are picking sides as if this were a war, and in many ways, it is. It's a war for the soul of the British Empire, fought with polite smiles, sharp words, and the devastating power of regret. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere at the palace is described as nothing short of military-grade damage control. The legendary men in grey, the powerful private secretaries who pulled the strings of the monarchy, are reportedly divided. Some argue that William finally did what needed to be done. He lanced the boil, but others are terrified. They know that once the never complain, never explain rule is shattered by the future king himself, there is no going back. The gossip coming out of the staff quarters suggests that emergency summits are being held at Sandringham, not to discuss policy, but to discuss the survival of a brotherhood that is now officially on life support. Now, let's get into the truly scandalous part of the chatter. William's use of the word trust wasn't accidental. In the world of high-stakes gossip, trust is code for secrecy. By saying he regrets trusting her, William is implicitly telling the world that Meghan is the source of the leaks that have plagued the family for years. But this is a dangerous game. The whispers from the Sussex camp suggest that if William wants to talk about trust, they have their own stories to tell, stories about planting, stories about who really made who cry, and about the cold reality of life inside the firm. It's a game of brinkmanship where one more live remark could lead to a total nuclear meltdown of royal reputations. The most heartbreaking rumor? That Harry didn't find out about William's TV appearance until his phone started exploding with alerts. Imagine the isolation of being thousands of miles away, watching your brother, the man who walked behind your mother's coffin with you, effectively exile your wife from the family history on a global stage. The gossip is that Harry feels this was the ultimate low blow, a calculated strike meant to coincide with a moment of vulnerability. Sources claim he is no longer looking for an apology. He is looking for a way to ensure William never gets the chance to speak his truth at their expense again. This isn't just a spat between two brothers anymore. It's a fracture in the very foundation of the British state. The gossip in political circles is that even the government is worried. If the royal family, the ultimate symbol of British unity, is this visibly broken, what does it say about the nation? William's regret has opened a Pandora's box of questions about race, class, and the cruelty of the British press. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a ceremonial sword. Every public engagement is now a minefield. When William next steps out Every hand he shakes and every smile he fakes will be measured against those 5 devastating words. As we speak, the narrative is shifting from what was said to what happens next. The gossip mill is obsessed with the upcoming royal calendar. Will there be a confrontation? Will there be a response from a source close to the Duchess? Or will the palace try to bury the drama under a mountain of ribbon cuttings and charity? Galas, but you can't bury a seismic shift. The ground has moved. William has drawn a line in the sand, and the world is waiting to see who crosses it and who gets left behind in the dust of a dying trust. As the fallout from William's live TV appearance intensifies, a new and darker chapter is unfolding. In the gossip columns, the battle over Operation Security. Insiders are whispering that Meghan's potential return to the UK for the Invictus Games has become the ultimate bargaining chip in a high street standoff. The chatter suggests that the demand for armed police protection isn't just about safety, it's about status and a forced acknowledgement from the palace. Rumor has it that William sees this move as a manipulated ploy, a way to bridge the gap he so publicly widened by using the government's security apparatus as a backdoor into royal legitimacy. While William remains the face of this molten anger, the real story might be happening in the quiet corners of Adelaide Cottage. Word is that Princess Catherine, having emerged from her health challenges with a renewed purpose, is playing a much more complex game than anyone realized. The gossip mill is humming with reports that she has become the silent architect of the palace's long-term strategy, while some say she is urging William to soften his stance for the sake of the family's future. Others suggest she is the one reinforcing the Great Wall of Windsor. The tension lies in her public image as a peacemaker versus the private reality of a woman who has reportedly had enough of the deliberate irritations coming from across the Atlantic. Perhaps the most telling sign of the growing panic behind palace walls is the rumor that Prince William has recently hired a high-level, seasoned crisis manager. This isn't just a PR hire, it's a wartime appointment. The gossip suggests this new fixer is tasked with managing what insiders call the Sussex sagas alongside the lingering shadows of the Epstein files. The strategy is no longer just to ignore the noise, but to actively purify the royal brand. This means every interview, every charity gala, and every live remark is now being vetted through a lens of institutional survival. William is no longer just a brother or a son, he is acting as the CEO of a monarchy under siege. And the gossip suggests he is prepared to be brutal to protect the bottom line. In the sun-drenched halls of Montecito, the mood is reportedly far from defeated. The whispers are that Meghan is refusing to play nice upon her rumored return to British soil, with her approval ratings in the UK hitting record lows. The gossip circles are predicting a digital counter-strike, whether it's through a high-gloss media project or a strategically timed leak of her own. The Duchess is said to be acutely aware that the UK media climate has hardened. The tension is building toward a summer showdown where the physical presence of the Sussexes in London could either be the first step toward a Sussex royal comeback or the final explosion that levels what's left of the family's foundation. And in the center of it all stands King Charles, a father reportedly ready to support his family but caught in the middle of his son's escalating war. The latest gossip suggests that while the king held a secret peace summit with Sussex aides, William's camp was pointedly not invited. This suggests a growing divide not just between the brothers, but between the king's vision of a reconciled family and the Prince of Wales's vision of a streamlined, Sussex-free monarchy. The unspoken truths are starting to leak out. The king is aging, the prince is impatient, and the American Duchess remains the most polarizing figure in modern royal history. The atmosphere is reaching a boiling point as the calendar creeps closer to the rumored date of Harry's return. The latest whispers from the palace corridors suggest that William has issued what courtiers are calling a final warning. The gossip is that this wasn't sent via a formal letter, but through a high-level intermediary, a message making it crystal clear that any attempt to use the Invictus Games as a platform for emotional grandstanding or a reconciliation tour will be met with a total media blackout from the palace. William is reportedly done with the performative peace offerings and is prepared to ensure that no senior royal is even in the same zip code as Harry during his visit. But the real fear keeping the men in grey awake at night is the rumor of Meghan's secret archive. Gossip insiders claim that the Duchess hasn't just been keeping a journal, she's allegedly been documenting her time in the UK with the precision of a historian. We're talking voice memos, draft emails that were never sent, and detailed notes on specific conversations that occurred behind the scenes during the most turbulent months of Brexit. This digital archive is being described as a sort of Damocles hanging over the House of Windsor. The tension is palpable if William continues to push the "I regret trusting her" narrative. Will Meghan decide that the best defense is a devastating offense while the world watches the big three, William, Harry, and Meghan? The gossip is starting to turn toward the younger royals. Reports are emerging that the Prince and Princess of Wales are having to navigate increasingly difficult questions from their own children. How do you explain to a future king why his uncle is effectively a ghost in the palace? The whispers suggest that Catherine is fiercely protective of her children's emotional bubble, and her alleged resentment toward the Sussexes stems largely from the shadow of chaos they've cast over her children's upbringing. The divide isn't just between brothers anymore. It's being baked into the next generation. In Montecito, the strategy is reportedly shifting from victimhood to power. The gossip circles are buzzing about a massive rebranding effort for the Sussexes, a Sussex Royal 2.0 that focuses on global philanthropy and high-end lifestyle content, pointedly independent of the UK monarchy's approval. However, the tension lies in the name. William is said to be obsessed with the idea that they are still merchandising their royal connections. The rumor is that any move to use their titles in a commercial way this year will result in a nuclear legal response from the palace, potentially involving the stripping of titles, a move Charles has resisted but William is said to be actively lobbying for. And what of the king? The latest reports suggest that Charles is increasingly isolated in his desire for peace. Midnight calls between Clarence House and the Prince of Wales's office are said to be heated, with the king pleading for a truce for the sake of the crown's image and William standing firm on his zero-tolerance policy. The gossip is that the king's health has made him more sentimental, while the pressures of the throne have made William more hardened. We are witnessing a slow-motion collision between a father's heart and a future king's cold hard pragmatism. Just as the world was reeling from William's regret comment, a new and far more explosive rumor has begun to circulate through the elite circles of London. Palace insiders are whispering that the real reason for William's hardened stance is the discovery of what they describe as a pressure campaign. The gossip suggests that documents have surfaced regarding a staggering $20 million dispute, narrative that William has reportedly authorized his team to surface if things get uglier. This isn't just a family disagreement anymore. It's being framed as institutional self-protection against what the palace sees as coercive tactics from the Sussex camp. In a move that has left royal watchers breathless, the gossip mill has dug up one of the most controversial and hussed-up theories in recent history. There are whispers that William's inner circle is no longer staying silent about the disputed narratives surrounding the Sussexes' early days. The term yacht baby has surfaced in dark corners of the internet again, with claims that the palace is now willing to challenge sensational claims with their own timelines and records. Whether this is a strategic leak to discredit Meghan or a genuine move toward transparency, the tension it has created is nothing short of radioactive, while the drama unfolds at home. William has taken his mission global. His recent high-stakes visit to Saudi Arabia was more than just a diplomatic mission. It was a masterclass in brand isolation. Gossip from the diplomatic corps suggests that William is intentionally building a new guard of international allies, including Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, positioning himself as a global statesman who simply has no time for celebrity distractions by focusing on heavy-duty diplomacy while Harry and Meghan are seen at Hollywood birthday bashes. William is effectively starving the Sussex brand of the one thing it needs to survive: royal relevance. Even the world of wildlife conservation hasn't been spared. The latest buzz is about a tug-of-war over the Irwin family. While Steve Irwin's family has long been aligned with William's Earthshot Prize, rumors have exploded that Harry and Meghan are obsessively trying to land a partnership with them for their own project. Insiders say the Irwins are in a very tricky spot, caught between a future king who has taken a shine to them and a Hollywood couple looking for a popular win. It's a battle for public affection fought through the lens of celebrity endorsements, and William is reportedly growing increasingly angry at the attempt to encroach on his territory. Back in California, the gossip is that Meghan is issuing her own strict demands. With the royal family currently embroiled in the resurfacing Epstein scandal surrounding Prince Andrew, Meghan is reportedly telling Harry to keep his head down. The word is she is terrified of guilt by association and is determined to keep her luxury lifestyle brand as squeaky clean as possible. The irony hasn't been lost on the London tabloids. While William regrets trusting her, Meghan is reportedly wary of being seen as too close to a monarchy in crisis. The gap between the two houses has never been wider, and the unspoken truths are finally starting to scream. The stakes have officially shifted from a family feud to a financial fortress. The latest whispers swirling through the elite corridors of London suggest that William's hardened stance, specifically his regret over trusting Meghan, is fueled by a dossier of documents allegedly worth $20 million. Gossip among royal insiders hints at a narrative involving repayment demands and a pressure campaign that the palace viewed as nothing short of institutional coercion. William has reportedly authorized a slow bleed of this information too. The press, if the Sussexes proceed with any further public attacks, this isn't just about hurt feelings anymore. It's about a prince who believes he is protecting the taxpayer-funded legacy from being used as a high-stakes bargaining chip. Even the beloved Irwin family has been caught in the crossfire of this royal Cold War. Robert Irwin has long been a global ambassador for William's Earthshot Prize. But the latest buzz from Hollywood suggests that Harry and Meghan are obsessively pursuing the Australian family for a high-profile collaboration of their own. Sources claim the Sussexes are looking for a popularity win by aligning themselves with the Irwin's global brand, a move William reportedly views as a direct ambush on his territory. The Irwins are said to be in an impossible position, caught between a future king's loyal friendship and the relentless networking of the Montecito machine. Back in California, Meghan's lifestyle brand has undergone a sudden and mysterious transformation. Formerly American Riviera Orchard, the brand has been abruptly renamed as Ever. While official sources cite trademark issues with geographical names, the gossip mill is spinning a different story. The As Ever moniker is being seen as a subtle but defiant message to the palace. I am who I have always been. Insiders suggest that Netflix, now a full partner in the brand, has pushed for a name that distances Meghan from the stuffy royal associations that are currently under fire in the UK. The launch, coinciding with her new show with Love, Meghan, is being framed as her final act of digital divorce from the House of Windsor. While the gossip about $20 million and yacht baby theories dominates the tabloids, William has strategically removed himself from the fray. His current high-stakes visit to Saudi Arabia, his first to the kingdom, is a calculated masterclass in brand isolation. By meeting with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and focusing on global trade and the FIFA 2034 World Cup, William is building a statesman's shield. The chatter in Riyadh suggests that William is intentionally signaling to the world that he is the only working royal who matters on the global stage, effectively casting Harry and Meghan as regional celebrities who have no place in the serious business of the crown. Behind the scenes, the men in grey are reportedly conducting what they call an internal purification. With the resurfacing of the Epstein files and the final removal of Prince Andrew from the Royal Lodge, William is said to be cleaning house with a ruthless efficiency. The gossip is that he sees Harry and Meghan as part of the old chaos that must be excised to save the monarchy. Every live remark, every strategic silence, and every trip to the dessert is part of a larger plan to ensure that when he eventually takes the throne, there are no self-inflicted wounds left to bleed. The whispers within the palace have taken a sharp financial turn. While William's regret comments set the stage, the real drama is now focused on a rumored $20 million pressure campaign. High-level gossip suggests that the prince's team has discovered a series of back-channel communications involving demands for a multi-million-dollar settlement to buy the silence of certain Sussex-aligned figures. William is reportedly so incensed by these alleged tactics that he has authorized his inner circle to prepare a scorched earth response. This isn't just about family trust anymore. It's about an heir to the throne who views the crown as being under financial siege. As we speak, William is thousands of miles away in Saudi Arabia, and the choice of destination is no accident. Gossips in Riyadh and London are calling this his statesman's shield by holding high-stakes meetings with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and touring UNESCO sites like At Tarif. William is intentionally creating a visual contrast. While Harry and Meghan are being discussed in the context of Hollywood red carpets and brand rebrands, William is positioning himself as the only royal engaging in the serious business of the world. The gossip is that he's building an alliance of new world power players who have zero interest in the drama of Montecito. Back in California, the Duchess has officially pulled the trigger on a massive rebrand. Her lifestyle venture, once known as American Riviera Orchard, has been abruptly renamed as Ever. While some say this was due to trademark issues, The gossip in the marketing world is that Netflix, her major partner in the upcoming series with Love, Meghan demanded a cleaner, more global name. The irony is lost on no one, as William publicly regrets his trust in her. Meghan's new brand name effectively tells the world she is as she has always been. The launch of her signature products, including the much-discussed raspberry jam and dog treats, is being timed to coincide with her March 4th Netflix premiere, setting up a clash of the titans between royal duty and digital commerce. The battle for public affection has even reached the Australian outback. The latest buzz is a full-blown tug-of-war over the Irwin family. While Robert Irwin has been a cornerstone of William's Earthshot prize, rumors have surfaced that Meghan is obsessively pitching a collaboration with the Wildlife Dynasty for her new show. Sources claim William is fuming at what he sees as an attempt to hijack one of his most successful public relationships. The Irwins are reportedly treading very carefully, aware that aligning with one side of the royal split could mean being permanently blacklisted by the other, adding fuel to the fire. The palace is currently grappling with a fresh wave of Epstein-related revelations concerning Prince Andrew. The gossip is that William is using this moment of institutional crisis to double down on his purification of the monarchy. By breaking years of silence to express deep concern over the Epstein files, he is signaling that the old guard and the Sussex chaos are both relics of a past he intends to leave behind. The tension is at an all-time high. As the king's health forces him toward a desire for peace, William is acting with the cold, hard pragmatism of a man who has already decided that the only way to save the crown is to cut the ties that bind him to his brother. All roads now lead to March 4th, the date etched into the calendars of every royal watcher and media executive. This is the day Meghan is rumored to drop her Netflix series, with Love, Meghan, alongside the full launch of the Ever brand. But the gossip from the London side is that William isn't just going to sit back and watch the show. Whispers are growing louder that the palace is planning a counter-programming event, a major royal announcement, or a rare, high-access appearance to bury the Sussex headlines. It's a digital arms race, and the tension is so thick that insiders are calling it the spring massacre of royal reputations. The most explosive rumor currently making the rounds involves a secret dossier that William is allegedly holding. Like a trump card, this isn't just about the $20 million settlement dispute. It's said to contain a detailed breakdown of every penny the Sussexes received during their transition out of the family, including discrepancies that have never been made public. The gossip is that William is prepared to release the receipts. A rejection of Harry and Meghan's new projects cast the monarchy in a negative light. It's a message of mutually assured destruction. If you speak your truth, I'll speak the ledger's truth, while the drama burns in the West. William's stay in Saudi Arabia has turned into something much more significant than a diplomatic visit. Rumors from within the diplomatic corps suggest that William is being treated not as a prince, but as a shadow king. His private meetings with world leaders are focusing on the long-term future of global energy and security topics. That Harry, stripped of his honorary military titles, can no longer touch. The gossip is that William is intentionally showing Harry what he gave up, not just a title, but a seat at the table where the world's destiny is decided. As for the battle over the Irwin family, the palace has reportedly enacted the Irwin protocol. Gossip suggests that Robert Irwin has been invited to a private, high-security briefing at Kensington Palace to ensure his loyalty remains with the Earthshot prize. William is reportedly taking no chances with his most popular global ambassadors. Meanwhile, the chatter in Hollywood is that Meghan's team is furious at being blocked, feeling that William is using his institutional weight to gatekeep celebrities. It's a high school popularity contest played out on a global, multi-billion-dollar stage. The unspoken truths that William hinted at on live TV are starting to leak into the foundations of the palace itself. Staff are reportedly being asked to sign new, even stricter non-disclosure agreements. The gossip is that there is a mole hunt underway to find anyone still in contact with the Montecito camp. The tension is no longer just between two brothers. It's an atmosphere of us versus them that has infected every level of the royal household. William's regret wasn't just a moment of honesty, it was the first shot in a final battle for the soul of the Windsor legacy. And the most shocking revelations are still hidden in the shadows of the upcoming March. Premier. The latest whispers from the financial districts of London and New York have sent a shiver through the palace's legal team. Rumor has it that Meghan's as ever brand isn't just backed by Netflix, but by a mystery investor with deep ties to a rival sovereign wealth fund. The gossip is that this backer is someone the palace has pointedly snubbed in the past. If true, this transforms Meghan's lifestyle brand into something much more dangerous, a well-funded, independent power base that could challenge the monarchy's own charitable and commercial interests. William is reportedly alarmed that his brother's family is now being fueled by interests that don't align with the Crown's internal purification strategy. As the March 4th deadline looms, a sensational new report has surfaced regarding a leaked email allegedly sent from Harry to King Charles. The gossip describes the tone as desperate, with Harry reportedly pleading for a private truce before the Netflix premiere. The catch: Harry allegedly offered to tone down certain aspects of the show in exchange for a guaranteed security detail for his family's upcoming UK visit. But the real kicker is William's reaction. Sources claim that when the king shared the email with his heir, William's response was a cold, hard no. The Prince of Wales reportedly views this as more emotional blackmail, further justifying his public statement that he regrets ever trusting the Sussex camp. In a bizarre twist, rumors are circulating about a security breach at the filming location of With Love, Meghan. Gossip from the set suggests that unauthorized footage potentially featuring private conversations about the royal family was captured by a third party. The tension is sky high. Is there a countermole inside Meghan's production? The palace is reportedly watching closely, with some whispering that if any sensitive royal information was recorded, they are prepared to file an immediate global injunction. It's a game of digital cat and mouse where one leaked clip could ignite a legal war that makes the $20 million settlement dispute look like pocket change from the glittering skyline of Riyadh. The gossip is that William's statesman strategy has been a total success. He has reportedly secured a landmark agreement for the Earthshot prize to be hosted in the Middle East, a move that provides him with a massive independent platform far away from the UK tabloid cycle. By the time he returns to London, he will be coming back as a global architect. While the world focuses on Meghan's raspberry gem, the contrast is being described by palace insiders as deliberate and devastating. William is showing that while the Sussexes are selling a lifestyle, he is selling the future of the planet. The tug-of-war over the Irwins appears to have reached a conclusion, at least for now. The latest buzz is that Robert Irwin has been granted A rare royal seal of approval for a new conservation project, effectively locking him into William's inner circle for years to come. The gossip is that Meghan's team has backed off, realizing that the Irwin protocol was too strong to break. But the tension remains. The Duchess is reportedly looking for a new hero to feature in her March 4th launch, someone who can rival the Irwins' global appeal and give her brand the wholesome credibility she craves. The whispers from the Sunset Strip are growing louder. Gossip insiders claim Meghan has been spotted entering the offices of a high-profile Hollywood lawyer known for handling reputational warfare against global conglomerates. He rumor this isn't just about protecting her trademarks for as ever. It's about a potential truth-telling clause in her Netflix contract that would allow her to respond to William's regret comment with documented evidence of her own. The tension is at a breaking point. If the future king continues to frame her as a breach of trust, the Duchess may be preparing a legal and media counteroffensive that treats the monarchy not as a family, but as a hostile corporate entity. As the March 4th premiere of With Love, Meghan approaches, the gossip mill is obsessed with a rumored mystery guest said to appear in the opening episode. While names like Oprah or Serena Williams are being tossed around, a far more scandalous whisper is emerging. The guest might be a former palace staffer who left under mysterious circumstances during the height of the Megxit drama. If this person speaks out on Meghan's platform, it would be the ultimate inside-out attack. The palace is reportedly scrambling to identify who this person might be, with HR files being reviewed in a state of high alert panic. Having allegedly lost the Owen protocol battle to William, Meghan is reportedly searching for a new wholesome hero to anchor her brand's credibility. The latest chatter in Hollywood suggests she has set her sights on a major A-list star known for environmental activism, someone whose global clean image could rival Robert Irwin's. However, the gossip is that William's team is already making discreet inquiries to that same star's management. It's a literal battle for the soul of celebrity, where every Hollywood handshake is now a calculated move in a royal game of risk. Back in London, the fallout from William's Saudi trip is taking an unexpected turn. While the trip was a statesmanlike success, gossip from the financial district suggests that Meghan's mystery investor might actually be a rival billionaire from the same region who felt sidelined by William's high-level meetings. If Meghan's as-ever empire is being built on the back of a sovereign snub, the rivalry between the two houses is no longer just personal, it's becoming a geopolitical headache for the British Foreign Office. The unspoken truths are no longer just whispers. They are becoming international headlines. As William prepares to return to the UK, he is reportedly coming back with a new authority. The gossip is that he no longer feels the need to play the role of the wounded brother. His focus has shifted entirely to the purification of the royal brand before his father's eventual transition of power. Staff at Kensington Palace are whispering that the atmosphere is clinical and cold. The prince is reportedly done with the drama, and his regret wasn't a cry for help, it was a closing of the door. The only question remains: when the March 4th clock strikes midnight, will Meghan use her key to try and kick that door down? Just as the world was processing the financial fallout of the $20 million dispute, a new and far more personal shockwave has hit the royal landscape. High-level gossip suggests that Prince William has taken the unprecedented step of moving to freeze Prince Harry's inheritance. The rumor, which has sent legal circles into a frenzy, is that this decision was triggered by confirmation of a long-disputed DNA issue tied to the Sussex line. While the palace remains officially silent, the whisper is that William is framing this not as a sibling jab, but as a constitutional safeguard to protect the long-term integrity of the crown's succession and financial framework. As the March 4th premiere of With Love, Meghan draws near, the Duchess's newly rebranded empire, as ever, is facing a brutal critical reception. Despite her efforts to pivot to a lifestyle homemaker image, early reviews of her content have been savaged as cringy and staged. The gossip is that even Netflix is losing patience, with rumors circulating that the show may not be renewed for a third season due to plummeting viewer interest. The tension is compounding. If the as-ever brand fails to launch with the impact Meghan expected, she may find herself without the independent power base she needs to counter William's growing global influence. While the Sussexes battle PR blunders in California, William has just concluded a triumphant 3-day visit to Saudi Arabia. This wasn't just a tour of UNESCO sites like At-Tarif, it was a high-stakes economic mission. The gossip in Riyadh is that the visit has solidified trade and investment agreements worth £6.4 billion. By aligning himself so closely with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, William is showing the world that he is the one holding the keys to the UK's economic future. The message to Harry is unspoken but devastating. While you are selling raspberry jam, I am securing the nation's wealth. The return of the Prince of Wales to London marks the beginning of what staff are calling the internal purification, with Prince Andrew finally being moved to the Sandringham estate amidst fresh Epstein-related allegations. William is reportedly cleaning house. The gossip is that he sees this as a necessary step to distance the monarchy from all past scandals, including the Sussex chaos. The tension is at an all-time high as the palace moves into a total damage control mode, ensuring that when William eventually takes the throne, the foundation is as sterile and scandal-free as possible. In the quiet corridors of Buckingham Palace, the mood is one of watchful waiting. The gossip is that the palace has already prepared a series of strategic distractions to drop on March 4th, the very moment Meghan's show goes live. Whether it's a surprise appearance by Princess Catherine or a major royal milestone, the intention is clear: to ensure the Sussexes remain a ghost in the British media landscape. The unspoken truths William hinted at are no longer just a threat, they are the blueprint for a monarchy the T has decided to survive by moving on. With or without the brother who left, the royal Cold War has just entered a devastating financial phase. Rumors are exploding through London's legal circles that Prince William has moved to freeze Prince Harry's $14 million inheritance. This isn't being framed as a petty sibling spat. Insiders suggest William is calling it a constitutional safeguard. The gossip is that this move was triggered by the verification of previously disputed biological records, a DNA bombshell tied to the Sussex line that has sent the palace's succession experts into a frenzy. William is reportedly determined to protect the crown's financial framework from any future claims that could destabilize the House of Windsor. As the March 4th premiere of With Love, Meghan approaches, the Duchess's newly rebranded empire, as ever, is facing a brutal critical reception. Despite her efforts to pivot to a lifestyle homemaker image, early buzz suggests the content is being savaged as vapid and staged. The gossip is that even Netflix has reached its breaking point, with reports circulating that the show will not return for a third season due to plummeting viewership. The tension is compounding. If the as-ever brand fails to capture the global market, Meghan may find herself without the independent power base she needs to counter William's surging influence. While the Sussexes battle PR blunders in California, William has just concluded a triumphant 3-day visit to Saudi Arabia. This wasn't just a tour of UNESCO sites. It was a high-stakes economic mission. The gossip in Riyadh is that the visit has solidified trade and investment agreements worth £6.4 billion. By aligning himself so closely with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, William is showing the world that he is the one holding the keys to the UK's economic future. The message to Harry is unspoken but devastating. While you are selling raspberry jam, I am securing the nation's wealth. The return of the Prince of Wales to London marks the beginning of what staff are calling the internal purification, with Prince Andrew finally being moved to the Sandringham estate amidst fresh allegations. William is reportedly cleaning house. The gossip is that he sees this as a necessary step to distance the monarchy from all past scandals, including the Sussex chaos. The tension is at an all-time high as the palace moves into a total damage control mode, ensuring that when William eventually takes the throne, the foundation is as sterile and scandal-free as possible. In the quiet corridors of Buckingham Palace, the mood is one of watchful waiting. The gossip is that the palace has already prepared a series of strategic distractions to drop on March 4th, the very moment Meghan's show goes live. Whether it's a surprise appearance by Princess Catherine or a major royal milestone, the intention is clear: to ensure the Sussexes remain a ghost in the British media landscape. The unspoken truths William hinted at are no longer just a threat, they are the blueprint for a monarchy the T has decided to survive by moving on. With or without the brother who left, the Royal Cold War has officially entered a devastating financial phase. Rumors are exploding through London's legal circles that Prince William has moved to freeze Prince Harry's $14 million inheritance. This isn't being framed as a petty sibling spat. Insiders suggest William is calling it a constitutional safeguard. The gossip is that this move was triggered by the verification of previously disputed biological records, a DNA bombshell tied to the Sussex line that has sent the palace's succession experts into a frenzy. William is reportedly determined to protect the Crown's financial framework from any future claims that could destabilize the House of Windsor, while the Sussexes battle PR blunders in California. William has just concluded a triumphant 3-day visit to Saudi Arabia. This wasn't just a tour of UNESCO sites like At-Tarif, it was a high-stakes economic mission. The gossip in Riyadh is that the visit has solidified trade and investment agreements worth £6.4 billion. By aligning himself so closely with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, William is showing the world that he is the one holding the keys to the UK's economic future. The message to Harry is unspoken but devastating. While you are selling raspberry jam, I am securing the nation's wealth. As the March 4th anniversary of her first launch approaches, Meghan's newly rebranded empire, as ever, is facing a brutal critical reception. Despite her efforts to pivot to a lifestyle homemaker image, early buzz suggests the content is being savaged as vapid and staged. The gossip is that even Netflix has reached its breaking point, with reports circulating that her show with Love, Meghan will not return for a third season due to plummeting viewership. The tension is compounding. if this ever brand fails to capture the global market. Meghan may find herself without the independent power base she needs to counter William's surging influence. The return of the Prince of Wales to London marks the beginning of what staff are calling the internal purification. With Prince Andrew finally being moved to the Sandringham estate amidst fresh allegations, William is reportedly cleaning house. The gossip is that he sees this as a necessary step to distance the monarchy from all past scandals, including the Sussex chaos. The tension is at an all-time high as the palace moves into a total damage control mode, ensuring that when William eventually takes the throne, the foundation is as sterile and scandal-free as possible. In the quiet corridors of Buckingham Palace, the mood is one of watchful waiting. The gossip is that the palace has already prepared a series of strategic distractions to drop on March 4th, the very moment Meghan's brand anniversary goes live. Whether it's a surprise appearance by Princess Catherine or a major royal milestone, the intention is clear: to ensure the Sussexes remain a ghost in the British media landscape. The unspoken truths William hinted at are no longer just a threat, they are the blueprint for a monarchy that has decided to survive by moving on, with or without the brother who left. What we are witnessing now isn't just family drama. It's a collision between a rigid monarchy and modern digital ambition. William's move to freeze Harry's inheritance might seem cold to some, but to the palace, it's a purification for the survival of the crown. The question remains, can erasing a brother truly save the throne? Or will it become the black hole that destroys their reputation forever? History is being written in real time, and we are all witnesses. That's our deep dive for today. Now, I want to hear from you. Who do you think is playing a smarter game of chess here? Drop your theories in the comments. I'll be jumping in to reply to the best ones. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of this Windsor saga. And I'll see you in the next video.